Hi, my name is Shannon from Glamerdoll and you're watching Hoola Rocks. Today I'm back with my Christmas Day look. It's a really gorgeous smoky gold eye look along with a festive red lip. So I've already prepped my face with the Clinique Moisturiser Moisturiser and I've just put this all over my face to prep it for foundation. The foundation I'm going to be using is the MAC Face and Body and I'm in shade C4. This is a really good foundation. So I'm going to be using the Sigma Flat Kabuki Angled brush to put this on. So I just put some on the back of my hand and apply this on my face, just by kind of like dabbing, stippling it on. This is quite a low coverage foundation as well, so we can just build this up. I'm now moving on to concealer and I'm using the Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection and I'm in shade medium 3 and I'm just applying this under my eyes and any other redness. I'm using the same brush to blend this out. So I'm moving on to the eyebrows now because I'm just going to let the foundation concealer dry a bit. So I'm going to use the MUA eyeshadow. It's just a dark brown, it's shade 19 and I'm going to be using an angled brush for this, just tapping off the excess. Just shading the eyebrows. I just normally follow the natural shape of my brows. I'm going to use a powder to set my face and I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte and I'm using the e.l.f. powder brush and I'm just putting this all over my face to make sure it's matte and the foundation stays in place. Okay, so I'm going to move on to bronzer and I'm using the Avon True Colour in Earthen Rose and it's quite a light shade so it'll be good for pale skin as well and I'm using this just to put some more colour back into my skin. So I'm just literally putting this in the 3 beat motion, where it's on the temples, forehead, cheeks and jawline. I'm going to move on to the contouring now and I'm using Benefit Hoola and I'm using a small powder blush brush from number 7 and I'm just applying this in the hollows of the cheeks. This just creates more definition to the face. And be sure to blend it between the hairline as well so you don't get that orange look. I'm just applying some to the jawline as well. So I'm going to use the same contour powder but taking a smaller brush. This is just the Real Techniques Duo Fibre Eye Brush but I'm going to use this to contour the nose, tapping off the excess and just applying this in the bridge of the nose and this just creates a thinner looking nose. So next I'm going to be applying the highlighter to my cheekbones and down the centre of my nose and I'm using the MAC Lustre Drops in Sunrise. This highlighter is quite subtle so I'm going to be applying something else on top in a sec. And you only need a little bit of this as well. So I'm just gently dabbing this with my ring finger onto my cheekbones. Next I'm going to use the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle and I'm just using a little bit of this on top of the highlighter just to set it. And I'm going to take the e.l.f. stipple brush. This will just apply on lightly. I'm going to brush this slightly on top. And then I'm just going to take my fingers and then apply this straight down the nose. I'm going to set the eyebrows now with e.l.f. Eyebrow Treat and Tame and this will just make sure that the eyebrows stay in place all day. So I'm just brushing the Tame bit over my eyebrows and then I'm just setting it with the Treat gel. Okay, I'm just putting this over. I'm going to move on to the eyes now and I'm just going to prep them with the Decay Eyeshadow Prime Potion in Sin. It's a really nice champagne colour. So it'll just give a nice base to the eyes. Okay, so I'm just going to apply this on my eyes and just blend it in. This is just a really good base for the rest of the shadows and will stop it creasing for the rest of the night. Moving on to the eyeshadows, I'm going to start with the Decay Get Baked palette and I'm going to start with the shade Half Baked. Okay, I'm just using a standard eyeshadow brush and applying this all over the eyelid. Moving on to the next eyeshadow shade, I'm using Baked, which is just a darker shade of Half Baked. And I'm taking this in the outer half of the eyelid. It just creates more dimension and shade. Okay, I'm moving on to another Decay eyeshadow palette, but this is the Naked palette. And I'm going to be using the shade Smog. And just wiping off the eyeshadow brush and taking this shade and applying it in the outer corners and beginning to put it in the crease. Just building up the colour and the intensity. So now I'm taking the shade Buck, which is almost all gone, but it's just a matte medium brown, and I'm taking a blending brush by Real Techniques and then just blending the corners of this so it's not so harsh. Just blending this in small circular motions and make it less harsh. I'm going to be mixing the two colours Dark Horse and Hustle in the palette. Just two darker browns. And applying this more on the outer corners just to create more depth and shadow. And again, I'm just taking the blending brush to just blend this in. I'm taking the shade Naked, which is just a lighter matte sort of taupey colour. I'm just going to apply this to the top just so it blends nicely. I'm then taking the shade Smog again and taking an angled brush for this, and I'm going to apply this to the lower lash line. I'm taking the shade Dark Horse again and doing the same. Okay, I'm taking the same colour and applying this on the upper lash line as well, just for more of that smudgy look. This doesn't have to be neat. I'm using Virgin and Sin, just mixing these two colours to apply on the brow bone. It just makes the eyes stand out a bit more. Taking the blending brush and just blending this in on the edges slightly. Okay, I'm next using a gel liner from Maybelline, and it's their Lasting Drama one. And I'm just using a Shu Mirror gel liner brush and applying this on the upper lash line. And apply it on the upper waterline as well. I'm also going to apply this in the lower lash line, the waterline, just halfway. I'm taking this shade called Creep from the same palette, and I'm using an angled brush and just running this just on the outer half of the lower lash line. And I'm also going to do the same in the upper lash line. Now I'm going to add some sparkle to the eyes, and I'm taking this gold eyeshadow from Shu Mirror, and I'm taking this just in the centre of the eyelids just to add more shimmer and glitter. So this is great for Christmas Day, because if you just want a bit more sparkle and glitter from everyday life, then this is a great shade to use without being too over the top. Now I'm going to move on to the eyelashes, and I'm using my Shu Mirror eyelash curlers, which are my favourite. I just hold these on for about 10 seconds and then just gradually moving the eyelash curler up so it gives a gradual curl. I'm moving on to the mascara, and I'm using the CoverGirl Lash Blast. It's the waterproof formula. And I'm just applying this on my eyelashes. I really like this mascara because it keeps my eyelashes curly and it separates them really well. Now I'm going to move on to the second mascara just to give more volume. Okay, this is the Blink and Go Long Lasting Mascara. I'm just applying this straight on top. Also apply this to the lower lash line. I'm going to move on to the eyelashes now, and I'm using these Eyelure ones, and this is the Girls Loud edition. It's the Sheryl Cole one. I'm just going to be applying this to create more of a bold look. I'm going to use this with the Shu Mirror eyelash glue, which I really like. Okay, so I just applied the glue on the eyelash, and I'm just going to wait for this to become a little bit tacky so it sticks on easier. So I'm just going to put this on the lash line, as close to the lash line as I can get it. I find it easiest to do my fingers so you can just see it and get it to where you want to easily. Okay, just wait for the glue to dry. Then repeat the same steps on the other eyelash. I'm just going to go over the lashes with some mascara again, and this just combines the two lashes together and just gives the lashes more volume again. Going back with the Urban Decay Get Baked palette, I'm using Half Baked again. I'm using this eyeshadow just in the inner corners of my eyes, just to brighten up the whole look, kind of tie in the gold as well. Then if you wanted that extra sparkle, you can get the Shu Mirror eyeshadow again, and just place this on top. Now moving on to the lips, I'm using my MAC lipstick in Russian Red, which is just a bold red colour. This is a really festive colour and I think it'll be great for Christmas. So I'm taking a lip brush by number 7. So I've just pushed the tissue onto my lips just to blot it so that the colour will stay on longer once I applied the second coat. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the look. If you decide to try it out, send us a picture on Twitter at HoraRocks. And I hope you all have a lovely Christmas, and I'll see you next week with my winter nighttime look, which is perfect for New Year's Eve. Bye!